Hi, my name is Megan Edwards of Focus Communications, and today we're getting the latest update from Timberline Resources, which trades on the OTCQB under the symbol TLRS and the Toronto Venture Stock Exchange under the symbol TBR. And joining me today is Timberline's President and CEO Patrick Highsmith. Patrick, once again, it's great to have you back on the show, giving us the latest on the company.
Great to be here, Megan. It's the beginning of the summer season, so we put a little news out this week. Good to talk about it.
So for the listeners, could you please introduce Timberline Resources and your flagship Eureka project?
Absolutely. Timberline is a Nevada-focused gold pure play. We are an on-trend explorer working on the Battle Mountain Eureka trend with a huge land position there. We have drilling permits in place for lots of drilling. In the last couple of years, we've sort of morphed the company a little bit with some new institutional investors, kind of an invigorated management team. Myself, I've only been on board about 18 months or so. And we put finally some money into the treasury, Megan, about $12 million over the last couple of years, which have finally enabled us to drill extensively at our 70 square kilometer and growing Eureka gold project outside of Eureka, Nevada, in what is a blossoming new gold district.
Now, a couple of days ago, the company announced the commencement of the summer drill program at the Eureka project. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about that?
It really was just that sort of beginning of the drill program, sort of news release where we detailed the meterage, where we're going to be drilling. And right now we have 2 rigs on site. And our emphasis in that program is going to be on the water well zone, where we have had some great results so far this year. I'll just set the stage with this first graphic here that we have on the screen, and it's highlighting a bit of the terrain here. It's actually a geologic map, Megan, on which we show our huge land position there, outlined, as I said, over 70 square kilometers. But what's kind of new and exciting is all the work that's happening in the district, not just with Timberline, which is here in this part of our property here, where we are exploring a lot around the water well zone, the Oswego target in that part of our property. But if you look north and south along this belt, you see at the north end of the slide, I-80 Gold producing some excellent results up there. Along this part of the district here, we call the Eureka Gold Belt. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But the primary focus of the news release is to announce that we're going to drill at least 5,500 or 6,000 meters of drilling. Probably about 65% of that will be core drilling, the balance being reverse circulation drilling. And we actually use the reverse circulation rig to drill the upper part of some of these holes and drill the deeper part in the good stuff with core. That saves us some money, but gets us the better geologic record and better samples that come from core drilling.
So you did highlight the new trend called the Eureka Gold Belt in your recent press release. Can you run us through this new district that's emerging in Nevada?
Yeah, this corridor really is what it is, and it shows up in green on this slide, and we've labeled it there, the Eureka Gold Belt. Imagine that are sort of through-going faults there, Megan, that have shattered that rock, and a lot of faults are running north-south, kind of tying us ultimately along this sort of 12 to 16 kilometer stretch from the southern end of our property up to I-80 Gold, kind of ties all that together. These are older rocks. They are Cambrian and Ordovician age rocks, and that's what's hosting the high-grade gold that we're reporting from the water well zone and even across the valley at our Oswego target, where we announced drill results in May. And it's the same belt of rocks just a few kilometers north, where I-80 is also drilling high-grade gold in their Ruby Deeps and other targets. It's kind of we call it a belt because it is this linear trend. And in the middle of it, we know there are some older intrusive rocks like granites and things like that. And they've moved around a lot of silver, lead, zinc, which is what made Eureka famous in the late 1800s. Today, it's these new gold deposits that are being drilled, and these high-grade intercepts being drilled by us and I-80 Gold, and even Golden Lake Exploration nearby, that are really lighting up this corridor and really making Eureka known for its gold and not so much its silver as it was back in the day.
So heading into this exploration season, can you tell us why investors should be keeping a close eye on Timberline's progress?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think here I've gone to another slide just to show this water well zone that we've highlighted in a number of news releases, including the one we put out today. And just to simplify, this is what's exciting. I mean, we drilled 3 holes last year that we reported in February, really through May. And they are shown here 220, 192, and 212. All of those intercepted significant high-grade mineralization, Megan. This was a bit of a shift for the Eureka project. We have a 500,000-ounce resource sitting just to the west of the water well zone that's hatchered in this slide. And that resource area has a lot of low-grade mineralization coming to the surface. But it's this higher-grade stuff that's getting us noticed. For instance, that hole at the top of the slide, 220C, that was a 44-meter intercept of over 4.1 grams. It included 12.2 meters of 9.18 grams. 400 meters away, south of that, hole 212 was 41 meters of 5.03 grams per ton gold, which included 19.8 meters of 9.5 grams per ton. So you see, it's that high grade. It's a style of mineralization, Carlin type gold, which is known to produce some huge mines in Nevada, often has high grade associated with it. And I think that's what's sort of changing the game. We're fully funded for this year's program. We're going to follow up on those drill results. And we're just showing here in this simple slide we put out in the news release this week. There's the water well zone there. We've circled that with a yellow oval. To the north of that, wide open, no drilling in that area we call the relay zone. So we'll be following it north there where that high-grade hole is. To the south again, we're going to go south from that hole 212C, right down as far south as the so-called South Pediment target there. So we're drilling right next to some known gold and some high-grade gold as well. And what's more, we added a whole new prospect, Oswego, about 1.5 kilometers to the east, where we announced more good intercepts there of oxide gold, including 35 meters of over 2 grams per ton there, pretty much at surface. So that kind of news flow with grade, with money in the bank, we can complete what will definitely be one of Timberline's most important drill programs in its corporate history this year. So we're super excited with that. And people should stay tuned because the news will be flowing.
Thanks so much again for your time today, Patrick. We definitely look forward to hearing more about Timberline soon and having you back on the show to give us all the details.
We'll keep you posted. Obviously, we've got samples in the lab and drills still turning. So it'll be a few weeks yet till the assays start coming out. But we'll be here when they do. Thank you, Mary.
Okay, we'll talk to you then.